Florida Power and Light Company plans to ask regulators to approve a monthly surcharge between $4 and $5.50 for most of their customers. It's to cover damage from Hurricane Irma, and that is not sitting well with customers who waited weeks for their power to even come back on. FPL says it cost them $1.3 billion to restore that power. Once the formal request is made and if it's approved, that surcharge would show up on your bills starting in March. And by the way here, this would happen at the same time a previous surcharge related to Hurricane Matthew is phased out. And right now, representatives in Tallahassee are going over lessons learned from Hurricane Irma. Many of you will never forget, hoping to smooth out issues with evacuations as well as preparations. Our Heather Lee shows us some of those ideas.
It's a storm for the record books, and as Hurricane Irma was churning towards the state, folks were clearing out grocery store shelves, stuffing sandbags, and clogging up the highways. Don Hess and his wife were heading to Atlanta.
It took us 15 hours.
15?
Our average speed was 26 miles an hour.
I got everything boarded up.
Ray Bouchard also had an extra long ride to Alabama with his mom, getting stuck in traffic just south of Georgia, an area that is known for congestion during evacuations.
We ran into people who had been 18 hours out of Miami, and that's normally about a 5.5 to 6.5 hour drive.
He also nearly ran out of gas on his trip home. It's why representatives in Tallahassee are talking through what worked and what needs to be fixed, like opening north and southbound lanes of traffic on all highways, lifting tolls as soon as an emergency is declared, and extending the Suncoast Parkway to the Georgia state line to ease congestion.
Another suggestion was possibly having underground utilities or auxiliary power at major intersections, plus making sure power restoration at nursing homes is a priority throughout the state.
There are members of the committee that are scattered from the various paths of the hurricane.
District 65 Representative Chris Sprouse says a big priority is getting folks in and out of the state efficiently and making sure gas is getting to stations on time.
We didn't have a shortage of gasoline here in Florida. To the extent that we had issues in certain areas, it's because we couldn't get the gasoline from point A to point B.
One rep would like to lease a cruise ship capable of evacuating 5,000 to 6,000 people from South Florida if necessary. Sprouse doesn't know how financially feasible that is, but says the committee is open to all ideas right now. For the Now, Heather Lee.